welcome along to the third round of the 1954 Formula 1 season as we head to Spa-Francorchamps for what is sure to be a fast and dangerous race for all drivers concerned. Situated in the heart of the Ardennes region of Belgium, the old Spa circuit followed public countryside roads for 14 kilometers featuring 21 ultra-fast corners. However, it was one of the most feared circuits in all F1 history, with many drivers suffering horrendous accidents or even death along this track, with some of the most vicious corners in motor racing history, including Air Rouge, Bernaville, Malmedy, Master, Stavelot and Blanchimont, all capable of ending a race early. Last week we saw an uneventful round 2 take place at the Indy 500, so we're all hoping for something a little bit different here today, and last season's Belgian Grand Prix wasn't too much to shout about either. But every season will be different, so nobody knows what's round the corner as we take a look at the starting grid for today's race. In pole position, it is once again Jack Palmer, 5 Grand Prix wins to his name since the beginning of the historic F1 series, and he'll be eager to extend his championship lead today. But alongside him on the front row will be Kimi Räikkönen, back in the fray once again. He had a great start to the season last year, however this year he'll be very keen to keep this run of good form going. And next to him, as we are going 3 abreast, will be Sebastian Vettel, his best start in the historic F1 series, and he even had his best start at the Belgian Grand Prix in 1950. However, it all went wrong for him after that, but he'll be definitely trying to have a better race this time. Niki Lauda starts in 4th with Alberto Ascari in 5th. Mika Häkkinen starts 6th with Alain Prost in 7th. Fernando Alonso starts P8 with Jim Clark in P9, and P10 Ayrton Senna, his best start in the historic F1 series so far. He'll be very keen to convert that start to his first points, and obviously to avoid the drop at the end of the season. And Nico Rosberg in P11, followed by Max Verstappen in P12. Emerson Fittipaldi, who finished 2nd in the standings last season, starts P13 for this race, with Juan Manuel Fangio in P14 and Lewis Hamilton in P15. Jenson Button starts P16 with Jackie Stewart in P17. Jackie Stewart has a lot of history around the Spa circuit. It was pretty much the circuit which made him want to change the safety in Formula 1 with his horrendous accident at the Master Kink back in 1967 or 66, I think it was. Nigel Mansell continues his poor start to the season, starting P18 alongside Michael Schumacher in P19, and Graham Hill starts right at the back in P20 after his accident at the Indianapolis 500. And if we take a quick look at the top 5 going into this race in the standings, currently Jack Palmer leads the way in the Drivers' Championship with 18 points. And following him in second is Niki Lauda with 9 points, the Austrian. Kimi Räikkönen in third with also 9 points, and he'll be very eager to secure that 9 point to catch up to Jack Palmer. And Alberto Ascari, who finished 3rd last season, currently 4th with 6 points, so a good start for him. Kind of gone unnoticed so far this season. And in 5th place, Sebastian Vettel with 4 points, and again he starts P3, so he'll be very eager to get some points on the board to maybe have a bit of a charge at the championship this year. So all the drivers are ready on the grid for a 5-lap race around the Ardennes countryside, and lucky for them they have a lovely warm sunshine all round for the race today. Could the championship head on its current course, or could everything change? We shall find out. So let's head to the grid for the 1954 Belgian Grand Prix. Well, here we are, we're on the grid for the Belgian Grand Prix 1954, on the front row once again. If you didn't watch it last year, last season, 1950 Belgian Grand Prix started on pole as well, and for some reason it's currently the 4th most popular video on this channel. I honestly don't know why, but if you're new to this channel, thank you so much, and welcome along once again. We're Belgium again for Spa again. Just a couple of little things to mention before we get this race underway. I've upped the difficulty slightly from the last race, and I also added a ballast to myself. I've added 25 kilograms, and purely because I just really don't like winning races too easily. I want it to be a challenge. I don't mind the occasional easy win, but I think, yeah, just winning over and over again with no opposition, it just gets boring. So I wanted more, if I win it and there's been a bit of a challenge, then fair enough. But yeah, I'm sure these two have been giving me a bit of trouble today. We've got obviously Raikkonen there in the blue car, and then we've got Vettel over there in the white, yellow and blue car with what looks to be like a Ukrainian flag striped right across the middle there. But yeah, we're almost ready to get underway here for the Belgian Grand Prix. I'm actually a little bit nervous, but I've been looking forward to this all week after what was quite a disappointing race at Indianapolis. If you didn't watch that, go and check it out. It's a cool video, and it's done a lot better than what I thought it would. But also check out the Watkins Glen video, because that took a lot of mental power, but I'm sure this one will too. So, without further ado, let's get the 1954 Belgian Grand Prix underway. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Let's rev our engines a little bit. The race is about to get underway, and we're going. Immediately we've lost the lead. But we didn't even have it, to be fair. Okay, ooh, nearly touched Vettel there. Let's make our way up. The old Air Rouge, a lot tighter back then. So close to making contact there with the German. And currently we have Kimi Raikkonen in the lead, and he's already gone. He's off. As we go through the Kemmel curves, it wasn't a straight back then, it was a series of curves as we go to Lake Ons, which is now just an access road for the circuit. The current day circuit branches off to the right over there, and we're now into the lovely countryside of Belgium. Got a what looks to be a green car behind me. Can't think who it could be. Just going to Bernaville. Very easy to get it wrong here. I'll be avoiding that like the plague. Let's head up to Malmedy now. Horrible corner, horrible. I mean, it's not so horrible now, but when we get to the mid to late 1960s, you'll see why. So we're still in P3. Not the way I wanted the race to go, but obviously we did quite a slow start. There's that green car. Slowly catching up to me as we head up to Master. If he tries to overtake me here, I'm going to absolutely kill him. This is the famous Master Kink, feared by every driver. But we made it through okay on this occasion. So pretty free. I don't feel like I'm catching up to these guys. I feel like because of the ballast that I now have, I'm a lot slower on the straight. So tracks like this. Okay. Tracks like this might be at a disadvantage, but luckily we're about to head out of the straighty bits and head to the wiggly bits. Had to make that quick gear change, side by side now with whoever this is. It might be Alberto Ascari, or it could be Jim Clark, it could be someone I don't know. I really don't know who this could be. But we managed to retake P3. But there's still a huge group of cars behind me, so far so good. That's what I want from racing, as we're slowly creeping up to the top two now. As they are fighting each other. And whoever this is wants to have another go at me, and he's going to definitely try. Slowly advancing on my position. Look at that, we're perfectly matched for speed. And that's Mika Hakkinen out. Don't know what's happened to him, but Mika Hakkinen's now out of the Belgian Grand Prix. And whoever this is now takes P3, but can I take it back? And Blanchimont, need to really be careful on the brakes. And there's been a massive crash behind me. Huge crash. There's about 3 cars involved there. And I don't think that was my fault. I didn't feel any contact. It's been an absolutely massive crash behind me. You might have just spotted them in the mirrors, but we could be seeing quite a few retirements from that crash. It looked pretty bad. So Alonso is out now. Maybe he got involved in that crash. I'm now starting to see cars. Now starting to see cars come along. So looks like only a couple of people might have been affected by that. So that was last year's rival, Alberto Ascari, in that green car. Is now 11 seconds behind. That don't mean anything. This is Spa we're talking about. Anything could happen, anything could go wrong. But still in P3, still got Vettel and Raikkonen in front. 2 good friends, of course. They're both pushing for the lead. It looks like it's actually Raikkonen is leading. So far from memory, that's Mika Hakkinen out, the other Finn. Of course, Fernando Alonso. And there was also another blue car there, which tells me another sort of modern driver is also out. So maybe Lewis Hamilton or just someone. Could be anyone. I don't know. We haven't got a full leaderboard. You know, because in post editing, I'll be putting up a. Oh no. Very easy to do that. So that's the trouble with Blanchimont, not Blanchimont, Bernaville. Such a fast corner that just slowly gets tighter and tighter. A lot of times you don't really expect it. This will go wrong now. I think we, right, we're in a bit of a situation. So we've got Vettel and Raikkonen fighting for the lead, and they're good, like 8 seconds in front, I would say. So I need to push my absolute limit to at least catch up to them. Go through Master for the second time. I can't see or hear any cars around me. Probably because they've all retired. Oh, well, that's Michael Schumacher out. His terrible start to the season continues. But just as I start talking about retirement, it flashes up that someone's retired. It'll be very interesting to see the replays after this. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to be having a top 6 leaderboard that will flash up at the beginning of each lap, so that you guys know who's in the top 6, who's currently in the points. I don't know. I only know who's immediately behind me. But I want to make it as interesting for you guys, so then you can cheer on your favourite drivers, not just me. That's the thing with this series. I still am in the sort of the 50-50 mindset whether to have this in this format or have it in a broadcast format and I'm just commentating over it, or maybe have this like what I'm doing now, and then during the week or a couple of days later have highlights where I'm commentating over it. But let me know. but I feel like that'll give me extra work to do. And obviously I don't do this full time, so. Oh god. Oh, crikey! What happened there? Oh, come on now. Really? Really? Right, we've got wound, guys. It's gone horribly wrong. We need to return to the pits. Luckily, we're not too far away from them. And I don't know why. I don't know why it gave me a. It won't slow down. Wait, can I just change tyres and it would just give me a new tyre? I have no idea. Can't look at this group. Right, I'm gonna hope that it changes tyres instead of giving me a 30-second penalty for coming into the pits. But this has gone completely wrong. This is not the way I wanted it to go. Look at this thing. Hello. Stop. Come on. Just change tyre. It's not going to, is it? It's not going to change them. You just ignored it. Come on, come on, come on. Repair. Yes. So I have to like reverse, don't I? Repair it. Why are you repairing? Oh, it's all gone wrong. I think I might have to retire, guys. Because they're just not letting me just repair the car. Come on, guys, repair it. Repair it. Seriously, just repair it. Right, guys. I think it's all gone wrong. On lap 2, this race is over. I'm actually pretty annoyed about that. Well, the only choice I have now is to allow the race to continue. Yep, that's me out the race. We might see a few of these in the future, but that's me out the race. Okay then, well, since we've retired from this race, I thought it would probably be appropriate to not cut this video early. So instead we're going to be looking and commentating on the rest of the race, because obviously I've retired and I don't really want to cut the video short. So as we said, Sebastian Vettel is still ahead in this race with Kimi Räikkönen 6 seconds behind him. So could Vettel go on to win this race? We'll find out. But if we look down now, P5, Ayrton Senna is in P5. He could potentially score his first points of the season. However, Emerson Fittipaldi, as you can see there in the red car, he is right behind him as they head towards the straight before Blanchimont, which is obviously where I collided with the barrier and retired. And you get a lot of slipstream down here. So what can Fittipaldi do down here? It's a very fast straight into a very fast corner. And as we see them run down, and you can just about see Lewis Hamilton in the background, and Fittipaldi is going for it. He's going for it before Blanchimont in the side-by-side now. This is an area where you see a lot of collisions, and he might have just got the move done. Emerson Fittipaldi goes into P5 and ahead of Ayrton Senna. And Senna, I'm sure, will be disappointed, but he's still holding on to his first points in the historic F1 series, and this season be very, very good to him. And we've just seen down there Alain Prost, who finished P2 in 1950, just gone ahead of Jenson Button. Jenson Button is in P14 and is right at the back now. As we've seen 6 retirements so far: Fernando Alonso, Mika Hakkinen, Niki Lauda, Michael Schumacher, Max Verstappen, and of course myself going out. So far, the last person to go out. But if we look in P2, Kimi Räikkönen is slowly catching up to Sebastian Vettel in now just 5 seconds behind him. So he might actually be able to catch up to him. And as we look down the rest of the grid, in P4, Jim Clark is 3 seconds behind Alberto Ascari. And we look even further down, Fangio is just half a second behind Hamilton. Will he be able to get a move done here as they head through the Kemmel curves? It wasn't a straight back then. I think I mentioned that before. But it's actually my first time commentating. So yeah, and obviously being a retiree, this is all I can do. But this is probably what I'm going to do in the future. If I do retire, I'll just sit back and just watch the rest of the race go on. Because obviously it's not all about me. I know there's plenty of drivers here who you guys might really like, some of your favourite drivers here. And I'm sure you'd be eager for them to get the win. So, and as I go through the Bernaville corner, well, went off earlier. Well, sorry, they're approaching Bernaville. Fangio might look to get the move done on Hamilton here. It's a very risky move if he can get it done. He's very close to him now. 2 tenths of a second behind him. As I head towards Maudi. Very fast here. Just, I'm not too sure if he'll be able to get a move done, to be honest. And it looks like he's keeping behind him on purpose. And I think he might want to get a move done before Master. This is the place to do it, if he's going to be able to do it. But look at these two going for it. This is for P7, remember. There's no points available for P7. He's going to the left. He's using that slipstream they gained. Can he get a move done before the Master King? Now just a tenth of a second still behind Fangio. And look at that, side by side. Who's going to break later? Fangio or Hamilton. They go through the Master King, very close there. And it's still Hamilton, still in front of Fangio. But got another slipstream down towards Stavlo. Another vicious corner. It's also worth mentioning I had got this leaderboard up just so I could see the timing screens. It's a lot easier to navigate. And looks like Fangio won't be able to get a move done, or will he? No, backs off. But if we just go away from here for a second, it looks like Kimi Räikkönen is now in the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel, I don't know what's happened. He had 5 seconds to make up, and he's done it in a lap. Not even a lap. And obviously Räikkönen, Vettel's still behind him, only half a second. These two good friends we saw whilst we were racing, whilst we were driving earlier, we saw these two going at it, and they're still going at it. And Ascari still in P3, 6.5 seconds behind him. You can just about see him in the background there. But Vettel's still keeping behind Räikkönen. He's a tenth of a second now as I head through Blanchimont. Seems very calm, these two. They both know what they're doing. Obviously, both of them world champions. 5 world champions between them two. Obviously in real life, not in the historic F1 series, but that might all change. And we see Räikkönen now go through, well, about to approach Club Corner. That's the club, I believe, probably. And here they are, about to start the 5th and final lap. So can Räikkönen hold on and get his first win of the 1954 Formula 1 season here at round 3 at Spa-Francorchamps? Senna is still in P6, Jim Clark still in P4, and Fangio still hasn't made it past Lewis Hamilton. And Jackie Stewart running pretty good race so far in P10. Nico Rosberg also in P9. But Alain Prost now is now 14th. Button's made it all the way up to P11. And yeah, Nigel Mansell there, P13 as well. So far, no one else has retired. But it looks like Räikkönen might be getting away from Vettel here. He's now a second and a half behind him. So maybe Räikkönen just simply has too much pace for Vettel here. And it looks to be quite a battle between the last 3 here. Let's have a look at these guys. That's Graham Hill there, the green car, and the 2 red cars, Alain Prost and Nigel Mansell. And this group currently being led by Jenson Button. As they go through Air Rouge. Let me take a quick sip of my cup of tea. 2 sugars and a splash of milk. That's how I like it. You just love the sound of this beautiful Maserati. Just sounds great, doesn't it? Elsewhere then, Fangio's still behind Hamilton. You can see them two there. Fangio's now second behind him, so he's dropping back. Because to be honest with Fangio, it's not like he'd be able to score any points today. Of course, there is still a point for fastest lap, and that'll go to anyone. It's also worth mentioning I have the Praga Cup streaming at the moment. It's currently half an hour into the race. I'm recording this on Saturday, and obviously cheering on Jimmy Broadbent, and the Team 87 car is still leading, and Jimmy Broadbent I believe is about to get into the car. I don't know, obviously, but this is the race of the day. And Jackie Stewart, if we have a look at him, is just behind Nico Rosberg now as they head towards Mazda. This is a place, as we've seen, to potentially make an overtake. And he goes a bit wide there. Ooh, that's very close from Jackie. Nearly collided into that wall on the left, but is still behind Rosberg. Get a very, very good slipstream as they head towards the kink. We've seen plenty of accidents over the years in real life and virtual life. But it looks like Jackie Stewart's smart enough to back out just before the kink itself. And just look, and let's just appreciate how close those houses are just to the edge of the road. It's crazy to think this was the norm. And here we go. Jackie Stewart's moved to the right. He's got the inside line of the corner into Stavlo. Oh, there might be contact there. And Nico Rosberg's gone wide. And Jackie Stewart has wrestled his way into P9. And Rosberg won't be happy with that. He's fighting back. And that was very close for ending in tears there for Nico Rosberg. And my dear, wow. That was quite the overtake there for Jackie Stewart. He knew exactly what he was doing. He took that inside line and just forced it wide. Probably a pretty dangerous place to force a driver wide. There's a house right there and a brick wall, but they all count back in 1954. Elsewhere then, Raikkonen still leading this race. Vettel is now almost 2 seconds behind him, and it looks certain that Kimi Raikkonen will be getting his first win of the 1954 season. Elsewhere, Alberto Ascari still P3, and let's have a look now. Nico Rosberg is moving to the right of Jackie Stewart. Can he get a move done before Blanchimont? This is the place. Again, another popular overtaking spot side by side. Pretty much matched for speed. Rosberg is just ahead as they go into Blanchimont, and he's got the move done. Well done. Jackie Stewart will be very disappointed with that. But let's take a look at the leader now as they run down to the start finish straight. Kimi Raikkonen, winner of the 1954 Belgian Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel in second, and Alberto Ascari, my rival from last year, P3, makes up the podium. Well done. Very good result for Kimi Raikkonen there. Jim Clark getting P4. Brilliant result from Jim Clark. He collects his first points of the season. And there's Ayrton Senna crossing the line in P6. Fantastic to see Ayrton Senna score his first points of the season and his first points of the historic F1 series. And that's Jackie Stewart and Nico Rosberg finishing in P9 and P10. As we see the last runners crossing the line now. And that's Graham Hill finishing in P14. And that's the race over. So let's have a look, another closer look at the results and what this means for these standings. Well, let's be honest. That didn't go to plan whatsoever. I was really hoping I could keep going, and I was really wanting the pit crew to repair the car, but maybe because it wasn't actually mechanical damage, the pit crew couldn't actually repair it because there wasn't actually anything wrong with the car, if you get what I mean. I think it was just the game kind of messed up a little bit. But retirement, my first retirement of the historic F1 series, and I'm really disappointed. Anyway, So obviously we've seen the race result, Kimi Raikkonen getting his first win of the season, and he also got fastest lap, so he gets an additional point towards his season. And Sebastian Vettel in P2, and Alberto Ascari making up the final podium place. Jim Clark in P4, Emerson Fittipaldi in P5, and I must apologise, Ayrton Senna does not score a point for P6. I got it completely wrong. I forgot, yep, P6 doesn't actually score you a point. So I must apologise to any Senna fans out there. Yeah, that's a big mistake by my part, but P6 is a brilliant starting position for the next race, which will be the French Grand Prix. Elsewhere, P7, Lewis Hamilton, P8, Fangio, P9, Jackie Stewart, P10, Nico Rosberg, P11, Alain Prost, and P12, Jenson Button, and P13, Nigel Mansell, and P14, Graham Hill, who continues his poor start to the season. We also saw 6 retirement sales. 6 retirements that race. There's quite a lot. It'll be interesting to see the replays later. Obviously, you'll see them on screen now, pretty much. What that means for the tables now, Jack Palmer and Kimi Raikkonen are now tied for points at the top of the table with 18 points. And just behind them two, once again tied in P3 and P4, Alberto Ascari and Sebastian Vettel with 10 points each, and Niki Lauda now drops down to P5, and just behind him is Emerson Fittipaldi with 4 points. So this whole season is now changed. Kimi Raikkonen has a huge advantage going into the French Grand Prix next week, and I with a huge disadvantage, and I'll be starting in P15 for the following race. So it's all gone tits up basically. But yes, we'll have to wait and see till next week, see what truly the consequences are from my horrible accident. And a silly accident, it shouldn't have, the damage caused shouldn't have happened. Should have just simply hit the barrier, gone across the track, and gone onto the grass. I shouldn't have done that whole flippity-floppity thing. But that's Assetto Corsa for you. Sometimes things like that can happen. But I hope you enjoyed anyways, guys. It's not been the race I was hoping for. Obviously, it's a Belgian Grand Prix, and I was hoping I could go out there and win that. But unfortunately, the whole season, this season has just thrown a curveball and brought us something we never experienced before, retirement from me. So I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. Didn't score any points today, but hopefully some of your favourite drivers have. And yeah, if you're new here, subscribe, of course. There's been plenty of you guys joining the channel lately. Excuse me, and I really appreciate that very, very much. So if you enjoyed this video, regardless, leave a like and comment as well what your favourite moment was, and let me know of your favourite driver as well. I'm intrigued to know if any of them are here. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy whatever you're doing with your weekend, and until the next video, which again will be some point in the midweek next week, and until then, I'll see you later. And for the historic F1 series, see you next week at France, at Reims-Gare for the French Grand Prix, and I'm sure that'll be once again another very fast race. Until then, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.